Hey guys, and welcome to the fourth Romie Reports. This is my channel, Romie Reviews. Please like, comment, subscribe. When I tell you I was so irked and upset when all this stuff happened with Desus and Mero and the Breakfast Club, excuse me, by the way. Okay, so let's back up. So this is going to be a separate report. It's going to be focused completely on the Breakfast Club and I should say DJ Envy's interaction with Desus and Mero. What happened is DJ Envy years ago had cheated on his wife with Erica Mena, and his relationship was in shambles. We didn't know that. What he did on the radio one day, because I remember, I think I was in college at that time, and I heard it live. I was like, what's going on here? So he went on the radio and he acknowledged that, yes, he did cheat on his wife and that he was, of course, stupid and idiot, all of the above, for doing so. As a result, she said, okay, we can talk about it. Apparently, at some point, Tyrese came into the picture and really drove it home by, singing to them and counseling them. And then he became really close with Tyrese because he wasn't friends with Tyrese at the time. Tyrese just did this on his own. So I shout to Tyrese for that. Now, fast forward. Now DJ Envy and his wife, Gia, they have a podcast called The Casey Crew. And what happened is that their podcast became actually pretty big. So they were invited to come on The Real Talk Show, which Tamara and Lonnie Love, Adrian Bailon, not Bailon, Bailon, and Jeannie Mai. What happened there is they were asking him questions about the infidelity. And so they brought it back home around to how, of course, they can speak on marital issues because they've been through it all. And his wife, Gia, talked about how she didn't see it coming because he treated her with love and respect, and she would have never thought in a million years. And so what happened, I would say like a month ago, maybe a month or 2 months ago, was Desus and Mero. If you don't know them, they're friends with Charlemagne. They were on his Uncommon Sense show. They have their own podcast, the Bodega Boys, as well as Desus and Mero, a show on Viceland. They make fun of everyone. They laugh at everyone. They really are harmless in the sense of they're not gangster, they're not street. They're just two funny people from New York who are friends. One's Dominican, one's Jamaican, and it's a nice time. I love the show. They were invited to the Breakfast Club. DJ Envy decided, yeah, of course, cool, no problems. They get there. Envy had a different energy because he wanted to catch them off guard. So he started off like, okay, so what's good? You have a problem with me, you have a problem with my wife? And we're like, what? Now, if you guys didn't watch the show, what happened is on Desus and Mero's show, they played the clip from The Real. And at one point, when they were just doing their usual cracking jokes, they made a comment about, oh yeah, but because Gia said that she didn't see DJ Envy at home. She saw Rashawn, because that's his real name. And she also, so I don't remember if it was Mero or if it was Desus. I feel like it was Mero who said, yeah, but you knew them DJ Envy checks, so you stayed for them DJ Envy checks. And they said a couple other things, but Envy, when they got to the Breakfast Club, was upset because he felt like, oh, they disrespected his wife and his family. And yes, technically that's true. Because they cracked jokes. They weren't trying to be hurtful, but I guess since they actually know him, it's one of those things where, see, Envy's the type where he's really sensitive. He's really sensitive already. So if he has a reason to really be sensitive, oh, forget about it. So his wife, who I'm sure people probably contacted them, or heck, they may watch and support the show. So they may have watched and maybe even seen firsthand, like, wait a minute, they said what? They did what? They had a whole segment on what? And so then I'm fine with him being upset. I'm fine because I completely believe in you can't tell someone how to react and feel, or at least feel about the initial reaction they had to seeing something, to hearing something. So I get that. I have no problems with him being upset. I appreciate him saying, okay, so are we good, or are you guys just going to crack jokes on me? Because that's fine, but I just need to know where we stand from this point on. Fine. Great. Wonderful. My problem is, Envy, he said that they both said, okay, we won't crack jokes at you. We won't crack jokes at your wife anymore, your family. We won't even talk about you. We won't even mention you because we're not trying to, we are friends, or at least we're friendly, and we like you. We respect your family. We got it. We understand that because we know you. It was different than some random Joe Blow doing it, even though you'd be upset either way. And like I said, we don't know how Gia reacted. We don't know how, But part of this whole thing is, we always have to remember why this happened in the first place. Envy cheated. Because he cheated, then his wife, they worked on getting back together, and apparently they're better than ever. So shout out to them. But the reality is that he put it out there. He cheated. Okay. All right. Unfortunately, a lot of people do it. Okay. All right. Whatever. It's not a whatever thing, but you get where I'm coming from. It's not out of the norm, which is pretty messed up. The true issue is he did that. He, as a showing of, oh, I'm not just this macho man. I want to really show my wife that I love her. He exposed it. He exposed it himself. He didn't wait for someone else to go and expose it, really. There were rumblings, but once it came out, there was like some stuff that was already kind of lingering out there, but no one knew for sure. It just seemed like gossip. So he exposed it. So it's like, okay, cool, because a lot of men wouldn't do that. The problem is, once you expose something, once it gets brought back up again, you don't know who's going to say something. You don't know how it's going to react. I feel like it's kind of the Kevin Hart situation, where Kevin Hart was upset at Michael Blackson because of how hard Michael Blackson went. Not because he said something, but how hard he did. So I'm fine with you reacting the way you react. I respect it because, heck, it would look like, okay, you're just making a mockery of the whole thing if you laugh with them. So I get that. And then he left the interview. So if you guys didn't listen to the whole interview, he left the interview because, and what he said later on was that his energy wasn't right. He was afraid that Charlemagne was going to go and antagonize the situation, which I said, oh, it's Charlemagne. So we know that can happen. And Charlemagne was actually laughing pretty much right after about the situation. So I guess Envy was right. But the whole point is that he left because he felt like his energy wasn't right. He wasn't sure what he was going to say or what he was going to do. I said, okay, that's fine. It's fair enough. Cool enough. But then I guess once he was also upset that on social media, because that's what they do best. Oh, Desus and Mero, like social media gurus. And so it was hilarious. I enjoyed every retweet. I enjoyed all of their tweets. It was a nice time for me because I can love and critique and side-eye everyone all at the same time. It's a talent, really. And so even though I love The Breakfast Club and I like each and every one of the hosts, Angela, Envy, and Charlemagne. Some people only like one or the other, or almost none of them half the time, but I like them all. But I can also say, that wasn't the move. I didn't like how you handled that there. And I'll say I respect Envy for saying something to them because he had a problem. Cool. I just felt like because it's Envy, it got blown out of proportion. I feel like it was serious to him, so it was serious, but now it's, oh, so Desus, so you're able to walk out, you're able to go and pretend like everything is cool, to catch them off guard, to go and say something, even though it was to their face. The whole thing was, you have to like, all right, we're cool enough. But now, we get there and it's differently, and so then went on social media and on our own show, because he kept calling it a podcast. No, the podcast comes on Monday. See, I really support this stuff. Their podcast comes out on Monday. So it was on their show. So saying, oh, podcast. Come on now. Let's stop that. They just dedicated their Thursday show, I believe it was the Thursday show, or maybe it was Wednesday, to put their side out there. And again, I'm glad that they did. I mean, it was, it was a mess. It was a mess in a very entertaining, like, this is entertainment and content, people. At the end of the day, you all get checks because of this. So what's really the problem? What's really the problem? Once they apologized, he accepted their apology. He still accepts their apology. He isn't like them going saying stuff afterwards, but guess what? They're grown. Get over it. Get over it. That's why I'm tired of these sensitive ass people. It gets so old when you deal with sensitive people who, just because I apologize to you and your family doesn't mean that I'm still not going to think, say whatever about you in particular going forward. Let's remember that. So that's all I wanted to say. Please like, comment, subscribe. That was, I believe, the 4th Romie Reports. Go by Romie Reviews, and see you next time.